So in this video I thought I'd do a quick tutorial on how I aged these photos that I did recently of my daughter in a Victorian outfit and things, because it seems quite popular and a lot of people are asking how I edited the pictures, so I thought, hey, I'll do a quick video. I did the shoot basically with ambient light only and things, and in camera I set my camera to sepia so I could sort of see exactly how it would look, the end result, etc, etc. So this here is the JPEG. Obviously the raw version is in color, but I started with this. I'm happy with the exposure. There's nothing really to worry about to fix some things. So I will quickly run you through what I've done. So this is the sepia straight out of the camera. Now I have some over here, I've put some adjustment layers. So I've got a hue and saturation layer, which is basically, as you can see here, I just changed the hue a little and brought the saturation down because I think the actual sepia is a bit too strong, too much on the brown side, so I wanted a bit more of a faded look. Then I have a brightness and contrast layer. So I've just slightly bumped the contrast, just to sort of crush the black and the dark areas a little bit more. So that's a good start. But what I want to do now is basically age the image a bit more and give it that old torn edge paper look and things, and add a bit more dirt and grunge and things. So the first thing I want to do is duplicate my original layer. I'm an editor, so it's a habit of calling stuff tracks. So Control J to duplicate the layer. Then I will just zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see the image. So I'll get rid of these. It's nice and sharp enough anyway. I wasn't actually too worried about it being pin sharp because I know I was going to be editing it to make it look old anyway. So I just want to add a blur to this layer first. So I'll go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and just apply a blur like this, about 4.7. Again, you don't want it too strong, but basically I'll apply this blur to this particular layer here, to my copy. I'll zoom back out again. Because what I've noticed in a lot of older pictures is that the edges of the picture seems to be out of focus and the center seems to be a bit more in focus. So I will create a layer by here. I have black selected as my color, and I will get a brush. Now I've set the brush flow to about 17% because I don't want it to be too strong, and I have soft edges to the brush. Now basically I will zoom in just to show you how it looks, and with my layer mask selected, not the image but the layer mask, I will paint black here, which then basically you can see is slowly bringing the sharpness back in here, and that's it. So all I'm going to do, you can see her hands out of focus, but her face, which is kind of the main thing I want anyway, is in focus. And I've just painted that in. You can see here it's got soft little edges around the well, where I've painted it on with black and stuff. Because basically the white layer mask means you see the image, and the black you paint away will reveal the image below. And it's a non-destructive method of doing this. So basically, this process is making me see through from this image down to this other image below, which is still in focus. And now if I switch between the two, have a look down here where the feet, you can sort of see nice and sharp and soft. Okay, so that's that. Then I want to put the paper textures on. So I've gone to DeviantArt and got some textures. So I will pick some out here, say this one, and I will basically just drag and drop it onto here. Now obviously it is very small because I've just right-clicked and saved a file off the web, but I'll just resize it. Again, I'm not too worried if I resize it too much because it'll pixelate or lose some of the resolution and stuff, but it actually does a good job in retaining it. So I will hit enter. You can see, looks fine. But now, hey, I can't see my image. So what I will do is in layer modes, step through until I see something that I like. Now this particular piece of paper has got this smudge mark right across the center of it, you see, so that's not particularly amazing. So I might try another piece of paper. In fact, let's have a look at this one. This one I like. So I'll get rid of this. Again, Just drag it onto there. It's smaller. You see the colors change because on my layers it's below the hue and saturation adjustment layers. So again, Control T, drag the corners whilst holding Shift down, and it'll keep the shape. Just say that. In fact, I quite like these colors, so there we go. I'll keep all these little blobs and what I've used to say there. Hit Enter. It's nicely resized. And then, what did I have on the previous one? No, that's another shot. Let's try. Oh, which one was it again? Let's go through. I only kind of want a subtle bit of detail, bit of noise and grain. Some of the, yeah, that one kind of looks alright. Soft light. Now I might think, okay, there's a lot of dots here, there's dots there, and it's looking overall quite bright. That's not a bad thing. So I might bring the fill down a little bit. You can see if you slide it all the way there, you don't, it goes away completely. So I would just maybe put that there. So that's one layer. Then I have other pieces of textures of paper which have a black edge around it. So it's kind of, I'll drag that one onto there. So this is kind of the framing that I want on the edge of the picture. So I will go again, Control T to resize the piece of paper to say there. And I want this time to make sure that it stays within my image. Let's drag that right up to there. Okay, hit Enter. So I have a black frame. Now, I don't want it actually to be black. I want the edging to be white. So I'll go Control I to invert this. And of course, they're like, hey, what's going on here? Now, in my layers palette here, you can see its color. But obviously, again, it's under the hue and saturation thing. If I knock that off, it goes to blue. So, again, I will just go through it and click on the layer masks, layer tracks to see what it does. There you go, that's quite cool. Lighten, yeah. Lighten's quite cool. Yeah, that's not bad. It's a bit sharp. I might go with screen. Let's go with lighten. That kind of gives it a vintage look, doesn't it? And then I will just bring the fill down again so you don't have it quite so much. By bringing the fill down as well, the white area is also giving it a bit more of a sepia, you know, cream color because it's a bit more old school, isn't it? It looks a little bit older. Let me just check this edge here in. There we go. So I've got all the edges around. Now, if I zoom in, I can get rid of this now. Minimize. Right. I have a line right across here because this was a folded piece of paper. I don't like this line right across her face, so I will just simply clone it out with a clone tool. So I have my clone tool selected. Just below it, with this layer selected, which is this folded piece of paper, I will sample an area here, and I will just, well, actually just do it by here, I suppose, and just paint it away, like so, and maybe a bit like that. So there's still a bit of a line going on, things I just didn't want it on her face, and things. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, that's cool. There we go. So that's just I mean, you can fiddle forever and stuff and keep fixing these things, but that's essentially how I will go about aging this image. The other thing I might just do, there's this little twig here on the floor. Find it a little bit distracting. Again, I will get my clone tool. I've now selected the image layer. I will just sample from here, and I will just paint it away as if by magic. And now, there's nothing there distracting you. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you know the usual. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Happy days.